Hello, my name is Sharan. So I will be explaining the exterior design of our project. So this is the exterior design of our project. This is the door system which are set up. So as you can see, we have here a push button. So this push button will help us to will help us to get to the capturing image and everything. So here we have connected an ultrasonic sensor. So this ultrasonic sensor will basically measure the distance between the object, and we have speakers and one camera which will be monitoring.
Hello, I am Devathathan. I will be explaining the interior side of our project. So we have a monitor for controlling the Raspberry Pi login, monitoring and controlling processes. So we are using a Raspberry Pi for our entire project, which will be for controlling. And we also have a relay system connected along with a solenoid lock that will be for locking and unlocking the door. Also an ultrasonic sensor that detects whether the door is open or closed.
Hello, this is JITHAAMITHRAN, and I'll be explaining our Capstone app features. So this is how the app's GUI looks, and we'll have a username and a password, which we can use to log in and connect to the hardware. I'll enter a dummy mail ID and password to log in, and it gives us the welcome message. Here we have the webcam option where we can connect to the uh, webcam in the door, and we can add or remove people to the authorized user, and open door close door is used to open the door and close door whenever needed. Suspicious activity logs all the suspicious activity which is recorded in the hardware.
So after installing the hardware setup for the very first time, we have to make some initial processes for the computer, for the Raspberry Pi, which I will be explaining now. So as for the very first initial setup, I'll have to initialize a pre-initial.python program, which will be taking care of the video conference system to be connected for unauthorized user and authorized user communication purposes. So along with this, I will have to set up initialize all the hardware parts connected, all the Python programs that I have done. So it will be asking for a password at initial. So as this code runs, it will be asking for a login through which I can connect to my app and also to the database. Gmail.com, and the password for the created Gmail account, and I will log in. So after login, you can see that the lock system, the source file and everything gets activated. So the source has been activated now. So when the source gets activated, the distance like the ultrasonic sensor outside the door computes the distance. So the process has get initialized.
So we will be doing the first segment of our project, which is capturing suspicious image. So I am a suspicious person as my image is not stored in our database. So what I do is I come here close to this door. So as I come close, ultrasonic will calculate the distance. And over here, I am not pushing any button. I will be just standing here. So as I am standing here, I am not pushing the button, so no facial recognition is running. So what happens is, here the webcam will capture my image, which will be stored in our log, suspicious log, which can be accessed through our app.
So as mentioned before, we have captured the suspicious activity and we have logged them. So in our application, there is a option called suspicious activity where it lets you to pick the date and sort the suspicious activity images. So I'll open the date selector, and I'll choose the date 25 to 28, and I'll give OK and next page. So I can see all the images that are noted as suspicious images from these dates. So these are all the suspicious images. Uh, and if if we pick some other date, there is no images, so it will just show up blank white image. Now I'll be explaining the authorized person unlocking procedure. So when I approach the door, the ultrasonic sensor senses, and as soon as I press the button, the facial recognition starts running, which sees that I am an authorized user and opens the lock. After I open the door, the lock closes again, and using the solenoid spring system, we can close the door back normally.
So as earlier stated that I was in my image was not in the data set, so I couldn't enter the room. So what I'm doing here is through app I will be adding myself, and as you can see I have entered my name as Sharan. I give add people. So here it asks to take the screenshot or photo of my image. So as soon as I click save, so this image is saved in the database, and you can see the pop-up over here which is successfully added. So as earlier seen, I have added myself in the database, so my image is stored in the database. So what I will be doing is, we will be checking whether the door lock opens or not. So here I come close to this ultrasonic sensor. Now I will be pushing the button and the facial recognition will be running. As you can see, the door has been unlocked.
So as I've already added my face data inside the database, now I'll be removing my my image from the database. So remove people. I saved it under my name, and I'll select remove people. So the notification says that my data has been removed successfully. Okay, so now as I remove my face data from the database, now I will be an unauthorized user. So let me demonstrate the working process for unauthorized user. So as I come closer to the ultrasonic sensor, it detects my presence, and I will press the button. So as I start pressing the button, the facial recognition system starts running. So it will start recognizing for the face from the database. But as the face is not a recognized database, it will be an unauthorized face. So as an unauthorized user, the database system will be connecting a call to the authorized user.
So
You have a trial account. You can remove this message at any time by upgrading to a full account. Press any key to execute your code.
There is someone at your door. Please open app to connect to video conference.
So the voice call was saying that there's a person at the door. So please open the app so that you can communicate with the user and unlock the door if you want.
As you can see, he was an unauthorized user, so here it automatically connects the call, and here you can see in the display the image of the person who is standing outside your door.
this is the app. Since I got a call from Twilio saying that someone's at my door, so I'll join to the URL which is displayed by the app. I'll copy it to my clipboard. I'll open my browser, paste it, and I'll connect it. Hello.
Devathathan, can you please open the door?
Okay, sure. Now that I know that the person is a trustable person and I want to let them in, I'll press on open door. It gives me a notification, door unlocked.
Devathathan, can you please open the door?
Now I'll be explaining about the open door option in our app, which lets the user to open the door from any place. So as you can see, currently now the door is in the lock condition. When the user presses the open door button, it gives a notification says the door unlocked. Now if you see the door, as you can see now the door is unlocked here and it's in the open condition until we open the door. After the door is open, the lock closes again. Now the door is locked.